Welcome to episode number 1 of this brand new MLB The Show 22 Diamond Dynasty series. And today I'm obviously starting my MLB The Show 22 Diamond Dynasty series. Yes, I did say Diamond Dynasty because extra innings is no longer a thing. And extra innings was before MLB The Show 22, so in MLB The Show 21 and before that, single player mode where you played in CPU and you played other Diamond Dynasty teams, but you played other Diamond Dynasty teams, but they were controlled by the CPU. Unfortunately for this, or unfortunately for MLB The Show 22, that is no longer a thing. If you look over single player modes, there's mini seasons, whatever the heck that is, to compete in an 18 league for a chance to make the playoffs and win the championship. There's Conquest, which is you take over territories, and it's 3-inning game. Showdown, and it's just challenges or something. Build and upgrade your team, face superstars and legends, earn rewards. And I clicked on it, and I don't think it's a full game, or if it is, not every game is a full game. And then it plays CPU, which is, well, playing MLB teams against CPU, or you're playing MLB teams, and they're controlled by the CPU. So that's what we're going to do in this episode, and that's what we're going to do basically in every episode. But there's 30 MLB teams, so, I mean, I doubt I'll be playing 30 games. I've only played, like, 5 games in MLB The Show 21 Diamond Dynasty. Yeah, I know only 5 games, and the Saints are 3-2. It's the Saints again here in MLB The Show 22. I'm going to have to show you the Saints right now. Some of these players I did buy, like Brandon Marsh, our left fielder. Well, I didn't buy him, but so our outfield is Brandon Marsh, Derek Hill, and Nomar Mazar. All 3 of those players were the 3 players that I got when I started the series. When I traded this Dynasty team. Miguel Sano I bought because his power is through the roof. 99 power versus righties, only 70 versus lefties, and his contact is sub 50 against lefties and sub 40 versus righties. But that's like his power. Then we got Yuri Gurriel playing second base. Yes, he didn't play second. He did play first, which is his primary position. But he also did play second, third, and left. So I'm at second. And then I got Jorge Polanco. He's a second baseman too, but I put him at shortstop. And then I got Eddie Matthews, who's a third baseman. I mean, it's pretty good. And then Carson Kelly was the catcher they gave me behind the plate, and I just left him like that. And then our bench is Jose Siri, S-I-R-I, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Center fielder. Then it's Jarrett Stubbs, a catcher, right? Yeah. And then David Hamilton at shortstop. Jonathan Arose or something, I don't know, A-R-A-U-Z, it's a shortstop. And then we have Alan Serdot. And then Alan Serdot. I don't know, I'm not good at last names, but that's our bench, that's our starters, our 8 starters plus the pitcher, obviously. I'll show you the pitching rotation, the bullpen in a second, and then that's our players in the field right there. It's obviously minus the pitcher, and then our 5 bench players. They're all trash. But I did the team better when I get more stubs, so I didn't buy more players, or buy more passes, see if I can pull a diamond or 2, or at least maybe a gold or 2. And then our bullpen, or our starting rotation, I did have some stubs, so I bought Zach Gallen, Julio Reyes, Blake Snell, Joe Ryan, and Marcus Stroman. And 3 of them, 2 of them, Dallin and Arias are both golds, and then Snell, Ryan, and Stroman are all silvers. And then our bullpen, out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitchers, I believe, if I can count right. Yeah, 8 pitchers. 6 are bronze, 1 is a common, and then 1's a silver. The 1 silver I did buy. So we have Trent Thornton, Blake Parker, Fernando Abad, I guess, because it's A and then the word bad. Then Joe Mantipline, Josh Stamont, Ross Detweiler, Aaron Ashley, and then Emilio Pagan. The closing pitcher for the Twins in real life, I bought him with Stubbs, So, like I said, we have 8 relief pitchers, 6 bronze, 1 common, and 1 silver. Yeah, 8 total pitchers in the bullpen, 6 silvers, or excuse me, 6 bronze. So 8 total pitchers in the bullpen, 8 bronze, 8 bronzes, 1 common, and 1 silver. So in the lineup, I put it as Brandon Marsh, Jorge Polanco, Eddie Matthews, Miguel Sano, Yuri Gurriel, Derek Hill, Nomar Mazara, Carson Kelly, and then whoever's the pitcher. And unlike obviously in real life, there's a universal DH here, and down in Dynasty, the pitcher's still bat, which I like that. I know, like I said, in real life there's a universal DH, but in here in Dynasty, the pitcher's still bat, so that means there's no DH and the pitcher's still bat, like I said. So, yeah. My dog is in here, and literally she's right in front of the tray table, which has the tripod on it, and actually the tripod has a camera on it. Can't see her, but she's literally like right below the camera line. So, yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know what I'm doing. But, let's get into the game. Play CPU. How this is gonna go here. How this is gonna go, I know it's zooming in for now. Because right now it's not the PS4, or right now it's not taking up the entire screen, but when you get in the game, I think it will. So I'm just gonna go up on the left stick and then count down from like 5, and then whatever team it lands on will play, or I'll play on rookie. 3 or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're playing the Guardians. So they're 76 overall, 57 contact, 50 power, 68 pitching, 71 defense, and 73 speed. They went 80 and 82 last year. Which I don't know, that probably was like 3rd or 4th in the AL Central. 238 average, 238 average, 4.34 ERA. On rookie, let's play the Cleveland Guardians. Play at home. I have 2 stadiums, by the way, 2 stadiums. Target Field is one of them, and then the other one I believe is so I have Wrigley Field and Target Field. And then obviously it automatically did the 2 Sprint Trent stadiums, and then I think I have one, and I have no Classic stadiums, and I have one minor league stadium, it's Ship It Stadium. But I'm gonna play at Target Field because it's Twins Stadium or field, and the Twins are my favorite team. So it holds 38,544, opened in 2010. Presentation mode, or excuse me, broadcast theme style, the show theme that's blocked. I can't change that. Time of year, let's go with May because that's the time of year in real life. And then time of day, let's go with 7 p.m. Cloud cover, clear skies. And then actually, Julio Urias now an 85 overall. I don't know who to pick. I kind of want to go with Joe Ryan because he is a Minnesota Twin. I want to go with Blake Snell. I don't know with Urias. This is the top players. There's a lefty 85 overall. Let's get into it. Well, not the lineups. But yeah, I don't know. Marsh, Polanco, like I said earlier, Marsh, Polanco, Matthews, Sano, Gurriel, Hill, Mazara, Kelly, and then the pitcher, Urias. Let's get into the game. I know. And I mean, there's a few diamonds. Their pitcher is Shane Bieber. I mean, they have a couple of bronzes, a couple of silvers, 1 diamond, which is Jose Ramirez, and Shane Bieber's a gold. So it's a pretty even matchup, I would say. Let's watch a presentation. John Shambi.
From Target Field in Minneapolis, Diamond Dynasty Baseball coming your way on the show. It's the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Snakes. First pitch coming your way next.
It's Derek Hill, I believe. And by the way, before we get going here, unlike Madden, my last video on this channel was the last episode of my New Orleans Saints Madden 22 Fantasy Draft Franchise Series. If you haven't seen it yet, there'll be links to that video in the description below. But unlike for Madden, Madden actually takes the entire TV screen up. MLB The Show 22 does not. There's about, I mean, if you looked at it, you might think that's the end of the TV, but it's actually not. The top of the TV is up there, and you can kind of see the black up there, black on the side. That black, that's like black over here, down there, over there, and up top. Some of it, obviously not all of it, but there's about, if you went up to the TV, there's about, I would say, maybe 2 to 3 inches, maybe 4 inches of the TV screen that's actually not being used. So I actually can zoom, because I don't think the TV actually, right now, I think the ends are cut off, but because there's that 4 inches or 3-4 inches of the TV that isn't being used, I can have the edge of the TV, size of the TV cut off as long as the actual image isn't cut off of the actual image of the game is not cut off. I know the sides over here are cut off, but if it's black and it's not showing the image of the game, it doesn't matter. Unlike Madden uses an entire screen, MLB The Show 22 does not. So I didn't actually have it zoomed in, because I tried that for Madden in my last video. It wasn't yesterday, but my last video, which was 2 days ago, it didn't really work out though, because it did work out for a little bit, because on the main menu it didn't use the entire screen, but then when you got into the game, it used the entire TV screen, so it's cut off, so I had to zoom it out, and it was the first 8 minutes of this video, how the camera was for the first 8 minutes of this video. That's what I had the entire video. That's what I had the camera like the first 8 minutes of this video. The way the camera was for the first 8 minutes of this video, that's the way the camera was for 95% of my last video, because I had it zoomed in like this for the start of the game, or at start I had it zoomed out like it was for the first 8 minutes of this video. Then I zoomed it in when the game started, but then I realized it used the entire screen and it was cut off. So then I had to zoom it back out, so how the camera was for the first 8 minutes of this video. That's how basically 95% of the game was. So at least for MLB The Show 22, it doesn't use the entire screen, so I actually can't zoomed in like this, unlike the way I had it for the first 8 minutes of this video. Sorry about ranting. I'll see you in the next clip. This clip's about to end, so I'll see you in the next one. So like I said, when I play MLB The Show, I'll have it like this, but when I play Madden, and I'm not sure what it is like for NHL, because I haven't played it yet on this new TV, but for MLB The Show, at least for 22, I'm not sure about 20 and 21, but I think for 20, 21, and 22, I'll have it like this. But for Madden 22, I won't, because it used the entire screen. And then for NHL 22, I haven't played that yet on the new TV. So it's about 13 minutes in the video, and the game hasn't started yet. I actually didn't do it because these things take they don't take really long usually, but they don't take really. They're not really short, but they're not really long. Here we go. First pitch, and that is low. There's Andres Jimenez, or Jimenez. Oh, it's Jimenez. That's in the G silent. Here we go. 1-1 pitch to the batter, and that just missed. 14 fastball, sweep and curve, a circle change, and a slider for Julio Reyes. 2-1 pitch, and that is low on the 14 fastball. 3-1. Ahmed Rosario, who is part of the Francisco Lindor trade, on deck. And that is ball 4, a 5-pitch ball to lead off the game. Hit the zone. I mean, come on, man. Here's Rosario. And that's in there. 1-1 to Rosario. And that missed by a mile, low and outside. 2-1 pitch to Ahmed Rosario. 1-2. With the slider. And swing and a miss, strike 31 down. First strikeout of the game for Julio Reyes. And now it's Jose Ramirez, the only diamond on the Cleveland Guardians. And that just missed. The umpire's not calling anything on the corners, and that was right down the middle, 1-1. Throw a sweep and curve. 84 speed on the runner at first. Got him. Swing at the sweep and curve, 1-2. 1-2 pitch to Ramirez. That's a fly ball. Coming in is Brandon Marsh. Routine. 2 down. And by the way, I think the Damie Ridley Field, and I bought Target Field, which is only 50 or 60 stubs. Now it's Framil Reyes, who I think he's a silver for number, right? Not just missed. Not really just missed. Probably missed by half a foot. 1-0 pitch. 1-1. 1-0 pitch. 1-2 now to the Cleveland DH. I think he might be the DH, or if he's not, he's probably the right fielder. And the runner's going, and it's ball 2, thrown to second, it's on the money, got him! Middle of 1, no score. Here we go. Now Brandon Marsh, lefty on, or not lefty on lefty. It's righty on lefty, because I forgot Bieber is a righty. I just forcing fastball on the first pitch, and I missed it. Forcing fastball, not to curve, a slider, a circle change, and a cutter from Bieber. And I guess the forcing fastball again, but that'll just be outside by at least like 6 inches, I would say, or 4 or 5 inches. 1-1 pitch to Brandon Marsh. Polanco on deck. And it's kind of hard to see the ball right now because the batter's eye, half of the batter's eye is in the sun, half of it's in the shade, and then the entire field, or at least, or half of the batter's eye is in the sun, half of it's in the shade. And that's a weird, like, excuse me, swing. It's kind of like kind of was inside, and he just threw the bat to the ball. He got it in play, but it was a ground out. Like I said, half of the batter's eyes in the sun, and half of the batter's eyes in the sun, half of the batter's eyes in the sun, half of it is in the shade, and then obviously the pitcher, Shane Bieber, and the batter, Jorge Polanco, are in the shade as well. So the pitcher and batter are both in the shade, and then like I said, the batter's eye, half of it's in the sun, half of it's in the sun, half of it is in the shade. And that's a line drive where no one was shift was on, or excuse me, the shift was not on. I thought the shift was on. It wasn't, but it does fall in front of the left. It does fall in front of the left fielder. Here's Eddie Matthews, and that's the first hit for the Snakes here in Diamond Dynasty in MLB Show 22, and that should be a ball, and it is. So first hit for Polanco and the Snakes. First hit for Polanco, it's the Snakes, and first hit for the Snakes here in Diamond Dynasty in MLB Show 22. That's a little tapper. This should be 2. No, it won't be 2. He'll just go to first base. Bieber will. Polanco at the second. Runner at center, 2 outs for Medel Sano. Medel Sano, runner at center, 2 outs. 70 bronze, but he does, like I said, 99 power versus righties, and he's facing a righty right now. That's a ground ball on the first pitch, and he threw behind Bieber. And now it's by the dugout. Here comes the runner, and he's safe. Sano will be out at second base. But the Snakes do score. My goodness, so an error by the first baseman, threw it behind Bieber, and then it rolled to the guardrail, in front of the Indians, or in front of the Guardians dugout. And then, so yeah, it was thrown behind Bieber, and then it rolled to the guardrail in front of the Guardians dugout, and then Polanco, who was at center base, came home and scored, and then the catcher threw to center base and not Sano at second, but the run did score before Sano was tagged out, so it's 1-0 Snakes. So 1-0 Snakes on the error by the Guardians. Sorry, I said Indians. So, but the Snakes have 1-0 lead against the error by the Guardians first baseman. 2-0 pitch now, and that is in there, 2-1. And Reyes is still up. It's a new count, though, because obviously the last inning he was made at bat when the runner was thrown at center base. So it's a new count. Well, it started with a new count. Now it's a 2-1 count to Reyes. And he swung at ball 3, 2-2. 2-2 pitch. That was an ugly swing. Got him. 1 down. Now it's Josh Naylor. And by the way, on that play, Sano doesn't get an RBI. So he reached out first on an error, and that run, I don't know if it's earned or not, but either way, the Snakes did score thanks to that error by the Guardians first baseman, and that's a swing and a miss, 1-1. 25th pitch down for Reyes. Got him on the circle change in the dirt. 1-2 pitch. And that's foul ball. That's a swing and miss on the slider, which was up and it hung, but it got him. 2-9, here's Oscar Mercado. That's in there, 1-1. 1-2. 30th pitch. And he tried to check his swing, but he went in and over. Middle of 2, the score is 1-0 Saints. Now it's Yuri Durrell, the second baseman, who also didn't play first. He's the first baseman, but he also didn't play second, third, and left, I believe, right? And that's a jam shot. Second baseman charges and will throw it. 1 down. I'm not sure who their first baseman is. I think it's Josh Naylor. I'm not sure, but here's Derek Hill. Derek Hill. It's foul ball. Now, the half of the batter's eye is still in the sun, but it was the top half. Now it's the bottom half. So it's kind of hard to see because, like I said, the batter's eye is half in the sun and half in the shade. But once it goes all in the shade and once it gets darker, it'll be fine. That's a line drive base hit. 99 speed from Derek Hill. He's the fastest player on this team. 99 speed, 55 steal. I'm gonna steal. There's Nomar Mazar, our catcher, Carson Kelly on deck. 1 on, 1 out. And that's a strike. Throw to second. It's high. And Hill's in there with a stolen base. Runner at second, 1 out. 0-1 count to Mazzara. Let us say with our catcher, Carson Kelly on deck. It's foul ball 0-2 to Mazzara, a right fielder. Now on the Padres in real life, I believe. Yeah, you can see his picture. The Padres uniform. Another foul ball. That's a foul ball. Hope you enjoyed this video so far. Hope you enjoyed it being zoomed in. Thanks, Peter, as well. Oh, not in the high, forcing fastball. 2 down. And now it's Carson Kelly, our pitcher. Julio Reyes on deck if Carson Kelly can get on. That's a foul ball in the neutral curve on the outside corner, 0-1. That's a swing and a miss.
Just threw that fastball by him, elevated, and if you're not looking up at that location, very difficult to catch up to, especially with that.
That's a ground ball. Third baseman throw to first is on line, and the inning's over. And the 2 scores 1-0 Saints.
New inning getting started. Stepping up for the Guardians, number 38.
Number 38's up. It's Stephen Kwan. Am I pronouncing that name? Or Stephen Wan, because it's K-W-A-N. The K might be silent, so it might be Stephen Wan. I don't know. 0-2 pitch to Stephen. And that's outside and low. So the slider, 1-2 pitch. 34th pitch. Got him. Swing it in the dirt. Throw to first by Kelly to get the batter out, and he does get that. Fifth strikeout for Julio Reyes. 1 down for Austin Hedges. With the pitcher spot. I forgot there's no DH. I don't know. I said that earlier when Framil Reyes he was there. How I said earlier that Framil Reyes was the Guardians DH or right fielder. Well, he's not their DH because I forgot. I'm so used to. I'm playing actually an MLB team, so I'm used to. Because obviously in real life there's a universal DH. I'm used to there being a DH. But how I said Framil Reyes earlier was the Guardian DH or right fielder. Well, he's not their DH because there's no DH, so I assume Reyes is their right fielder. Here's Hedges, 0-2 pitch. Got him, 2 down. Sits straight out for Julio Reyes, and now it's his opposing pitcher, Shane Bieber. And that's in there, 0-1 to the pitcher. 39 pitch, just outside. 40th pitch, and that just missed it in. 2-1 count, and now it's 3-1 to the pitcher with the top of the order to follow. And swing and miss strike 2, full count to the pitcher, Bieber. And got him, strike 3. Came out down 3-1 to strike him out. 1-2-3 to the Guardians, no score, perfect answer 3. Bottom 3 now, and now it's our pitcher, Julio Reyes, top of the order to follow. That's a swing and miss on a circle change that fell off the table. That's another swing and miss on the circle change, literally in the same spot, with a little higher. And it's a fly ball right field, routine for the right fielder, which I assume is Ramon Reyes. One down. Now it's Brandon Marsh who grounded out in the first. That's a ground ball. It's going to be in the hole. On the run, Rosario to play. 2 down. You didn't miss anything. No runners on. 2 outs. Bottom 3. 1 up in Saints. Here's Polanco, Sindel, and stored offset on that. Who's their first baseman? Is it Naylor? It is. So Polanco's 1 for 1 with a Sindel and a run stored on that Josh Naylor throwing error in the first inning that allowed us to get our first run. The wind is 6 miles per hour going out the right field. As you can see the arrow. I don't know if you didn't see the where it says wind 6 miles per hour, but you can't see the arrow pointing that way. So, but like I said, I shouldn't still be harping on it. But for your information, FYI, for MLB show at least 22 and probably 20 and 21 as well. So for 21 or for 20, 21, and 22, the camera will probably be like this, where it actually can be zoomed in like this. For this new TV, because obviously the old one I think had those. This was a little different because the edges for this one are smaller than the one we had, which is an older one that actually had those big edges. But this one that doesn't have a big edge. It does have an edge, obviously, but it's probably only like an inch or two. The other one was probably like 4 or 5 inches. But for, like I said, Madden 22, I have to probably be zoomed out. Camera will have to be zoomed out like it was for the first like 8 minutes of this video. And then for NHL 22, I'm not sure, but I'll find out when I play it. And then for at least for NHL 22, it'll be like this, and probably for 20 and 21 as well. But obviously, it does play it by year, and even if it's zoomed out like it was earlier, like it was for like the first 8 minutes of this video, I think you should still be able to see what's going on. Obviously, it'll be a little less clear, not clear, but a little less zoomed in. Obviously, and it might be a little harder to read, like a name, like for a Madden if they show stats or something, or the score. But it's not my fault, because I mean, like, it's just how the setup is for this new TV, and the setup of this new TV. And it's the same. This is a 50-inch TV. The last one was a 50-inch TV. The difference is there was that big edge on the old TV. This one doesn't have an edge. And then and also it uses the entire screen, which, like I said, it does for Madden, but doesn't do it for at least MLB Show 22, and probably for 20 and 21 it doesn't either. And then after NHL 22, I'll find out when I play it. But enough with the ranting. I've already ranted. I ranted like earlier, and then I ranted again for like 3 minutes right there. But yeah, no more ranting. At the ground ball right to the third baseman, Ramirez, in and over. And the 3, 1-0 Saints. Andre Jimenez. Not sure when he got on his team, but he did. 45th pitch. And that's a ground ball to Polanco. On the run, down to hurry. 84 speed from Jimenez. Got him. 1 down. Now it's Ahmed Rosario. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first. And that's a foul ball. And by the way, we do not have a perfect game. I forgot there was the walk earlier. But he has faced a minimum. Reyes has through 3 1/3, because obviously he gave up that walk, but then the guy who walked was caught stealing in the first inning. Which was the guy who was caught stealing was this guy, not this guy, but it was the guy on deck, which was Jose Ramirez. They're still looking for the first hit though. 0-2 pitch, down him, 2 down. 8 strikeouts out of the first Out of the first 11 outs, 8 strikeouts. Obviously, one of the outs was a caught stealing. And then one was a ground out, I'm not sure, and the other one was a fly out. And then 0-1 pitch. Or first pitch, strike, 0-1 pitch, 0-2. Reyes is dominating right now. 51st pitch, and that was laced foul as he left the circle change up to Ramirez. And call it strike 3, in and over. And our middle of 4, it's 1-0 Saints here at Target Field. Here we go, bottom 4 is Eddie Matthews that grounded out in the first. That's a swing and a miss. That was bad. 28th pitch for Bieber. That was ugly. If I remember, I haven't hit in a ball, so 28 pitches, 28 strikes. I think maybe. That's a foul ball. Well, luckily we got the first run. Speed is in the nailer throwing error where he threw it behind Bieber. 0-2 pitch. That's a swing and a miss in the dirt. Throw it to first, it didn't amount, and he does do that. The catcher does for the Guardians, 1 down. Now it's Sano who upset that reached on an error, but now it's thrown out. Center base is trying to get the second on the error. So it's really a ground out. That didn't hit an RBI, but we did score. Shift is on. That was laced foul. Circle change that was literally right down the middle at 88 miles per hour, just a little in front of it. 1 pitch. And gave me the high fastball about a few inches above the zone, and it was swung right through it. And now that's the low four-seamer. That's a fly ball, right center. Will it be caught? The right fielder's right there. 2 down. Now it's Gurriel. Snakes have 2 hits. Polanco singled, and then someone else singled. Gurriel grounded out, though, in the second. That's a little looper pop-up, not looper, but a little pop-up on the infield and an over. And the 4, 1-0 Snakes. And we know Bieber has, or excuse me, Arias is a no-hitter. Well, you call it a no-no either. They're 4 innings, but nowhere near. I mean, you're almost halfway there, but still, I mean, still 15 more outs. 1-0 pitch. 1-1. Here's Reyes. 0 for 1. 55th pitch. 2-1. 2-1 pitch. And I just missed 3-1 now. Josh Naylor on deck. And that's in there, 3-2 as he swung right through it. So the circle change right there. Full count to Reyes. Got him as he swung at ball 4 and 2 down. 10 strikeout for Reyes. So he's pitched 4 1/3 innings. He has 10 strikeouts. And that's in there, 0-1. 60th pitch. Still 1-0 Snakes. And did he go? And he did, according to the third base umpire. As they appealed to the third base umpire. Well, you appeal to the third base umpire when it's a lefty. And the third base umpire said Naylor went 0-2. As a foul ball. And it's a swing and miss on a pitch low and a little bit outside, or at least low. 11 straight out for Reyes, and now it's Oscar Mercado. No hits for the Guardians. They're 4 2/3. 1-1. And that was just completely outright missed by Telly, but it was low. 1-1. That's a swing and miss. 1-2. 1-2 pitch. And foul ball. Kind of blowout there. Remember, it's only 1-0, and really, I said shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's 1-0. Doesn't matter about that. But really, if there wasn't that error, it would be 0-0. But there was that error, so it's 1-0. But it's not a blowout yet. Another foul ball. 1-2 pitch. Foul ball on the sweeping curve. Good battle between Mercado and Arias. Got him in and over. Halfway home. 1-0 Snakes. Second half of the game, bottom 5, 1-0 Snakes. Here's Derek Hill singled in the second and then stole a base. That's a swing and a miss on the cutter. And his first cutter of the game, as I can remember. And that is low, 1-1. I think it was his first ball he threw. No, he's thrown 3 balls. But 3 balls, 33 strikes, 36 total pitches. 1-1 pitch. And that is inside 2-1. That's a foul ball, a little pop-up though, and no one can get there. 2-2. That's a swing and a miss. 1 down. And now Mazar is struck out in the second. Swing and a miss. That's a ground ball to the Ramirez. 2 down. Pitcher's duel, that's for sure. Now it starts in Telly with the pitcher spot that if the inning continues. Foul ball. That's a jam shot, and no one did there. That will end at the 4th row or something. That's another tapper foul. He stays alive. The 45th pitch for Bieber through almost 4 innings, or excuse me, almost through 5 innings of work. And he keeps dimming on that 14 fastball, high 14 fastball. There's the 6th, still 1-0 Snates. Right now, top 6, no action in either bullpen. I assume no action in, no action in our bullpen. I assume no action in their bullpen. Here we go, there's Matthews! And that almost took the ball boy's head off. As he ran out, Matthews couldn't get there. But obviously in real life, the ball boy wouldn't do that. I don't know why he ran out. And literally, he was ready to catch it. Like, he got under it, where the ball was gonna come down, and he was ready to catch it, but he missed it, almost hit his head off. Foul ball. 0-2 pitch now to Steven. Foul ball. Now that ball boy on the first base side doesn't move. Another foul ball. Here we go. 0-2 pitch. And got him! Got the call on the outside corner. Did hit the zone, but he hasn't been calling those almost all game. And that's a Baker's dozen for strikeouts 13. And now it's Austin Hedges, Bieber on deck. Foul ball. That might have been a home run if it was fair. Probably not, though. Maybe. 0-2. And ground ball, and there goes the no-hitter. As he left, though, at the circle change-up. Base hit for Hedges. Runner at first, 1 out for the pitcher, Bieber. And he's probably on a sacrifice. Let's go hot 14 fastball, see if he can pop up the bunt. And he popped it up! Right to Sano! And if I turned around quick enough, could have been a double play, but Hedges did back, but popped it up, 2 down. And here's Jimenez. That's low. 80th pitch from Arias. And 1-1. 1-1 pitch, and that was outside. 1-1. And that's low, 3-1. Ahmed Rosario on deck. And that's outside ball 4, 2-on-2 out for the Guardians here in the 6th. And here's Ahmed Rosario 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 2-on-2 out here in the 6th. And that just missed, and now he's starting to lose it. His energy's in the yellow. I should start warming someone up in the bullpen. 1-1. And I'm definitely not going to do that. Let's start warming up. I don't want to. Josh Stallman, a righty in our bullpen, a 72 overall. And let's do not a mound visit yet. Wait, probably his last batter, regardless if he gets him out or not. 1-2. Now do Ahmed Rosario. The only thing he missed, I threw the pitch right when the last flip ended. It was a foul ball. Still 1-2 pitch. Still a 1-2 count to Ahmed Rosario. Done him in and over. And the Guardians draft pair runners. Middle sits, scores 1-0 Snates. That trophy sombrero dealer. That's 3 strikeouts. But total for Ahmed Rosario. Hold on, I'm probably going to pinch hitter. So who do I go with? I mean, my bullpen, or not bullpen, my bench is bad. Let's go with Jose Soria? I don't know how to pronounce that, but let's go with him. Jose Soria. Jose Soria. That's a foul or fly ball, right field, routine for Reyes. 1 down. The pinch hitter's retired on 1 pitch. I mean, we have 2 hits, they have 1. So we have 1 run into that Naylor error. Here's Brandon Marsh, Polanco on deck, who has 1 of the 2 hits and scored on the error by Naylor. As he, like I said earlier, it was a ground ball to Naylor, threw it to Bieber running the first base, threw it behind him, and it rolled to the dart row in front of the Guardians. Set out, and then Polanco was at center base, scored down the line. Line drive on the line, but it's caught by the left fielder, 2 down. That might be Mercado. Now Polanco, like I said, on that arrow by Naylor, which was thrown behind Bieber, then it rolled all the way, the ball rolled all the way to the dart rail in front of the Guardians dug out, and then Polanco was at second base, scored, and then Sano obviously was thrown out going to second base. But Polanco scored before Sano was tagged out. Line drive will let it down. No. And the sixth, still 1-0, dry treat. Now it's a new pitcher right now. Julio Reyes is in line for the win. Let's start warming up. I don't know who else to warm up. Let's go with Fernando Abdad. And let's bring in Salmon. Salmon. So he has 3 pitches. Here's Jose Ramirez. 4-seam fastball, curveball, and a 2-seam fastball. He can hit both of his fastballs up to 99 miles per hour. Ramirez 0 for 2, and that's 97 right down the middle. 0-1. Now it's curveball, and that's a movement on it. 80 miles per hour, but low. 1-1. And that's in there. 1-2. And that's a foul ball. Both of his fastballs, you can hit up to 99. Right now he's up. Both of them have been at 97. And curveball down and 1 down. Now it's Framil Reyes is 0 for 2. And that missed. That was 96, 0-1. Or excuse me, 1-0, and that's a swing and misses. Kelly didn't drop the ball, but Reyes swung 1-1. And that's 1-2. 1-2 pitch. And got him, 2 down. Josh Naylor now. No runners on 2 outs. Top 7. And right now his error is the difference in the, right now his error is the difference in the game. That's foul ball 0-2 to Naylor. 0-2 pitch, and that swing and a miss. That was some movement on that curveball in the dirt, throw to first, in and over. Seventh inning stretch time here at Target Field, 1-0 Snates. Bottom 7 now. Here's Eddie Matthews. Still 1-0 Snates. 0 for 2 with a strike down and a ground out. Bieber's about to throw his 50th pitch, and it's his 7th inning. It worked, and that's popped sky high. I believe it's in play, and it is in play, and foul ground, but it was in foul ground, but it was still in play, and he makes a run and catch. Mercado does. The left fielder for the Guardians in foul ground. 1 down for Sano. 0 for 2 with a fly out, and obviously reached on an error. And that's a foul ball. Bieber, for all we know, might go all 8 innings, possibly 9 if there's a bottom of the 9th. That's a swing and miss. That was out in front of that 4-seam fastball at 94 miles per hour. I mean, that's 23 vision. Like I said, 99 power versus righties. That's a swing and miss in the dirt. Throw to first by their catcher, which I think is Austin Hedges. Is in time, 2 down. Pitch strikeout only for Bieber. And now Gurriel for 2 with a line out and a ground out, it says. Here we go. That's outside, 1-0. That's for sure. That's a fly ball. Left center. Is it playable? Would it over his head? No. Middle or end of 7. The score is still 1-0 Snates. And Horton hit. Here's Austin Mercado. I'm going to bring in, well, I don't start warming up our closer, Emilio Pidan. I'm going to bring in, should I start warming up one of our setup men, not a middle relief pitcher, but I'll bring in Fernando Abad. And wait, he has 5 pitches. 2-seam fastball, a knuckle curve. No, he has a 2-seam fastball, a knuckle curve, a circle change, a 4-seam fastball, and a cutter. Let's start with a 2-seamer, right there on the outside corner, hopefully. First pitch to Mercado. 1-1. So it's 4-seamer now. And that's a foul ball. Oh, still circle change right there. 0-2 pitch to Mercado. And did he go? Yes, he did. It was a weird swing, but he went around according to the home plate umpire. 1 down for Steven Juan or whatever, and then number 8 batter after this. 1-0. Attendance 35,707. Still almost a full house, if not a full house, here at Target Field. 1-1. That's low. 2-1. 2-1 pitch, and that's a ground ball. Matthews. Throw to first on the run. Got him. It's a no-tip to spin on the bat, and that throw barely beat the batter by a step or two. 2 down for Hedges. Pitcher spot on deck, which obviously, well, yeah, probably be a pinch hitter, although Beaver's in pretty well, but they're not in the final 4 outs, possibly 3 outs if Hedges gets out. But they will have the top of the order up one more time, no matter what. They'll have at least their first 2 guys up. And that's in there, 1-2. Throw with the cutter on the inside corner. That was not the inside corner, but called strike 3 and then over. Middle of 8. This game is all about pitching and defense. 1-0 Saints. Nick Sandlin, new pitcher. And it looks like there's a double switch, so they don't have the pitcher do up first and then that's in. And that is smart. So he stayed in over in the 8th spot, which was the spot that made the last out of the previous inning. So due up in the 9th for Cleveland is 9-1-2. That was a pathetic pop-up to, I don't know who came in for part of the double switch. I'll look at that in a minute. Here's Nomar Mazara. And that is in there. Slider, cinder, and a forcing bounce ball for Sandlin. That's a line drive, foul. Right now, that Naylor, like I said, that Naylor error is the difference in the game. That's a fly ball, deep right field. That is the right fielder. That ball is off the facing of that cement limestone in right field, which is in play. And it's double for Nomar Mazara, the first extra base hit for either team. And now it's Carson Kelly. And like I said, I believe I hit that limestone facing in right field, and if it did hit that, or if it does hit that, regardless of that, if it hit it there or not, it is in play. If it hits it, that's a fly ball, left center. That is left field. That's pretty deep, and it's caught by the left field on Tadden with Mazzario did the third. Runner at third, 2 outs for a dry creek here in the 8th. That's a bid insurance run at third base. Now, no, Brennan, pinch hitter for the pitcher. That's Brennan. David Hamilton. Oh, I know. Yeah, David Hamilton is a lefty that faced the righty. Kind of like a goatee. Here we go. Insurance run at third base. That's a bid insurance run. Putting him home. Line drive. Will it get down? It will! And the run will score. Hamilton comes through off the bench. And the Snakes lead by a pair. And Mazara will score. And Hamilton comes off the bench, or turns off the bench, and it's an RBI single. 2-0 Snakes. Little ground ball left side. Good play by Ramirez and an over. But the Saints did a huge insurance run. We had the 9th, with the Saints now up 2-0. Let's bring it. I'll start warming up Aaron Ashby. Just an instant and a half. Just an instant. Our closer Emilio Pedon gets into trouble. For now, let's bring in our closer Pedon.
Here comes the closer here in the 9th, Emilio Pedon.
Here we go. Another pitch on the Twins. I bought him with Stubbs. Forcing fastball cutter and a circle change for Pedon. And Luke Maley, who I believe is the new catcher, and came up off the bench via for the double switch, took the pitcher spot. So it's Maley, the number 9 batter, and then it's the top of the order. And that's in there 0-1. Now pitcher spot is the number 8 spot. There's a pitcher spot, the new pitcher that came in. The new pitcher that came in to the number 8, the 8th spot in the batting order, and he tentatively came in for the catcher, Austin Hedges, but he's a pitcher. So basically the new pitcher came in and took Austin Hedges' spot in the lineup, which is the 8th spot, and Hedges came out of the game, and then Luke Maley, the new catcher, took the pitcher spot. So basically the catcher spot and the pitcher spot flip spots. So the pitcher's now batting 8th, and the catcher now batting 9th. That they did that so the pitcher wouldn't lead off, and that wouldn't lead off the top of the 9th. But it doesn't really matter. And Maley strikes out. Now it's Jimenez with Rosario on deck. So only 0 for 1 because I believe he's walked or something in this game, right? He's 0 for 1 with a ground out and 2 walks actually. That's what. So Watt doesn't count at bat. 0-1 pitch. Low and inside, 1-1.
And it's a ball and a strike.
Fans on their feet, and 1-2.
And now 1-2.
1-2 pitch to Jimenez. Done, and 2 down. And the Indians, or excuse me, the Guardians are down to the final out this evening, and their last chance is Ahmed Rosario. Guardians down to the final out, and it's a swing and a miss. I just said Guardians down to their final out. 0-1 pitch to Ahmed Rosario, just missed. And it's a swing and miss. Guardians down to their final strike. Fans on their feet. Crowd of 35,707 on their feet here at Target Field. Last strike for Cleveland. Line drive foul, and the game continues for now. 1-2 pitch to Ahmed Rosario. Ground ball, Gurriel. This should do it. Snates win. Snates win. Snates win. As they beat the Guardians 2-0. Professional framer I got as a trophy. I earned a trophy that was called Professional Framer, and I named the trophy that was named Bring on the Closer, because I brought the closer in, Emilio Padon, and he got the save. We held the Guardians to 1 hit, didn't we? 1 hit. Yeah, we held the Guardians to 1 hit. And the Guardians held the Saints to 4 hits, and 2 of them ended up by Bieber, and also the other 2 were in the 8th inning, and then the reliever that came in gave up the 2 hits, a double, and then also that Sindel that scored a run. Derek Hill had the 4 hits, while Mazzara had a double, Polanco had a single, Hill had a single, and then also Hamilton, the pinch hitter, by that pinch hit RBI single, had the other hit. And obviously Hamilton drove in the 2nd run. Mazzara scored the 2nd run, and then obviously the 1st run, while Polanco scored the 1st run, and then obviously Sano, didn't really do anything. The 1st run scored in the 1st inning. The 1st run for the Saints was scored in the 1st inning on that throwing error by Josh Naylor. The Indians' only hit was by Austin Hedges, who went 1 for 3 with a single and 2 strikeouts. Maley went 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Jimenez 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a strikeout. And then Ramirez went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. So they had more than 1 base runner, the Guardians did. If you think about it, I think Ramirez walked, but was caught stealing. Jimenez had 2 walks. Obviously, Hedges had their only hit. And, obviously, for me, it was hard to hit. It was also hard to hit for Cleveland. And, obviously, we scored our 1st run in the 1st inning on that Naylor throwing error. And then, obviously, in the 8th inning, we scored our 2nd run on that pinch hit RBI single by David Hamilton. As Julio Reyes is the player of the game, and he also gets the win, or Julio Reyes gets the win, Shane Bieber gets the loss, Emilio Padon gets a save, and Julio Reyes is also the player of the game. 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 14 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 0 earned runs. So he gave up 2 walks, both Jimenez, and then if you look at the pitcher in total, Reyes had 14 strikeouts. Salma had 3. Epdad, or whatever his name is, had 2, and Padon had 2. So total we had 21 strikeouts and 2 walks. Both Jimenez, 0 earned runs, 0 runs, 1 hit, which was given up by Julio Reyes. Hill stole a base. Mazzara had a double. Hamilton an RBI. The only one of the game because the first one, Sano didn't an RBI. Because of the throwing error. And obviously, we had 4 hits, like I said. Flondo had 1, Hill had 1, Mazzara had 1, and obviously the pinch hitter Hamilton had 1. And then the other side, like I said, Hedges had the only single. The only hit for the Cleveland, which was a single, and then Naylor had a error, and then Jimenez. It was actually Jimenez who was caught stealing. For some reason, I thought it was Ramirez, but Jimenez was caught stealing. And then Naylor had the error, and then Bieber pitched 7 innings, and Stanlin pitched an inning. So they only had to add 2 pitchers, but they would still lose. As that first run Bieber gave up in the 1st inning because of the error was unearned, and then the Sandlin run he gave up in the 8th inning was earned, but the Bieber run he gave up in the 1st inning was unearned because of the error. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm not sure when this episode of the series will be, but I usually do play some days off camera and probably because my own Show 21 Diamond Dynasty, really extra inning series, I played 5 days and I've had have had 4 episodes. So in MLB Show 21, I played 5 days, 5 extra inning games, or 5 days and extra innings. And 4 of them I've been on camera. 1 have been off, has been off camera. Out of the 5 days, 4 on camera, 1 off camera. And Saints are 3-2. But here in my MLB Show 22 Dynasty series, yes, it's only called Dynasty series. The extra innings is no longer a thing. The Saints have 1 win and 0 losses. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm not sure when next episode of the series will be, but for the next video on this channel will most likely be the next episode of my Arizona Diamondbacks MLB Show 21 March to October series. That will most likely be the next video on this channel. I'm not sure when it's going to be in real life, because tomorrow I have to help my dad with some chores, or at least for me tomorrow, because right now it's right now for me it's Wednesday, May 25th, and tomorrow, which is Thursday, May 26th, I have to help my dad with some stuff, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to film and post a video tomorrow, or possibly today if this video is going up on May 26th. But either way, I'm not sure when next video on this channel will be. Next video on this channel will most likely be, like I said, the next episode of my Arizona Diamondbacks MLB Show 21 March to October series. That's why it's that will most likely be the next video on this channel. But I'm not sure when it's gonna be posted. And also I'm also going to a wedding on Saturday, and I probably won't be able to film Saturday either, because the wedding's like 2 hours away. We have to drive there and I have to drive back that same night. So not sure when next video on the channel will be, but obviously you guys will find out when I post it. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay, that's time for the closing. No board it. Okay, that's time for the closing. No board it. If you had to upset the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet. Tell your mom, dad, grandma, tell your mom, dad, grandma, aunts, uncles, pets, and friends about these videos. And I'm gonna see you in episode number 2 of this MLB Show 22 Diamond Dynasty series. See you in episode number 2. And you don't want to bacon and dough snakes.